Speedrunning Fresh File Hades takes ungodly amount of resets, and by ungodly I mean ungodly amount of resets. When first watching Hades Fresh File speedrun, I was thinking to myself that I wanted to do the same. I have played Hades before and I have combined of 100 hours of playtime in Hades. I acknowledge that this is gonna be a difficult journey. However, I was confident that with enough practice, surely I can also do it. So I learned a few strategies to beat the game, and in the end, I spent more than 35 hours trying to speedrun the game. And oh my god, saying that it's difficult is an understatement. Oh, what an understatement it was. So here I am staring at my monitor after 35 hours of run and trying to explain why Hades Fresh File speedrun category is very, very difficult.
If you're a fucking fair dinkum fucking full-grown Aussie, this is what you'd have for breakfast, you fucking dog cunt.
Hades has several speedrunning categories. The first one is hit speedruns and the second one is fresh file speedruns. Of course, there's other category as well, but I will not get into that in this video. Fresh file speedrun doesn't mean you need to beat the game in the very first run. You can also beat the game in the next run. Basically, the counter starts after these introduction screens appear and you can stop timer whenever you beat the final boss, Hades himself. This means you can even die over and over and over again without stopping or resetting the timer until you beat the final boss, and this also counts as fresh file speedrun. This means you can unlock any weapons you want and you have also access to the Mirror of Night, and it also still counts as fresh file speedruns. However, this is not what I attempted to do. What I am about to attempt to do is the true fresh file speedrun, where I need to complete the game as fast as possible in the very first escape attempt. In true fresh file speedrun, however, you don't get access to Mirror of Night. The only weapon you can use is the Stygian Blade, a default weapon that is certainly not bad. However, and since you don't have access to Mirror of Night, you do not have access to Death Defiance, which could save so many runs if it were available in the first escape attempt. The overall strategies are very simple. With limited god you can get in the very first attempt, there was not so many options. In fact, there is only one option and one option alone that is viable to beat Hades in the very first attempt: Merciful End. This is why it requires to reset many times to truly beat Hades, because to put it simply, you just don't do enough damage without Merciful End. Okay, that's enough babbling. Let's get into the run. First, you need to get Athena boons. Well, this one is pretty easy. It is guaranteed at the very first chamber you enter, and you should always pick Athena Dash every single time. There is not even a debate on this. And in this particular run, I was looking for Ares boon, and once Ares is not in this boons room, I would just immediately reset. Generally, once Ares didn't show up, there is like a high chance that he will never show up either in the room or in the shop. So I would just immediately reset. And please be aware that I am not a pro speedrunner. I'm just a regular guy trying to tackle this challenge. So please do correct me if I am wrong. And this is the most common thing in this run, that I just don't get Ares boons and just resets so many times. And once you get Ares and Athena, it is generally very safe to assume that in the next future encounter, most of the time Ares or Athena will appear either in the chamber boons or in the shop. In this case, after getting Ares special, which is quite unlucky because generally you would want Ares to be in your basic attack. I immediately get another Ares from the shop, which is really good. Though this is not the duo bone, it is still really good. So that now I have Ares on my normal attack. The first boss, which is Megaera, is pretty easy. I just have a really bad habit of playing very recklessly and taking so much damage in the second half of the fight. I don't know why, but this is really bad habit that I have. And because I don't want Ares on my special, I sold the boon so that I can get gold to heal a little bit. However, I decided to end this run because I was low health and it's still very early in my 35+ hour run, so there was no way I can pull this off. And the next decent run, I was getting quite lucky and get Ares and Athena immediately and goes to fight the first boss. And as always, I don't know why, I just take so much damage in the second half of the fight. In this fight, I reached the Hydra boss fight room, and as you can see from my spam buying, I was frustrated that I was 4 gold off for buying that could potentially be the duo boons that I was looking for. I managed to beat the Hydra and reach Elysium, which is arguably the hardest realm in Hades. And many of my future run ended in this realm or this area, whatever you want to call it. And in this run I was doing really well and fight this butterfly ball flawlessly and managed to escape with almost full health. And here it is, merciful end. I think this is my second run to ever got these duo boons. And then it is time for the boss fight. In Asterios and Minotaur first half of the fight, I was doing fine. I was doing quite well despite taking, 1 or 2 damage here and there, not much of a problem. In the second half of the fight, I was taking every damage there is possible to take. It's just really bad. Well, I was happy about this run since I was able to reach this point for the first time. And after so many resets because I don't get Ares and terrible fights, and then finally I got this run. This is my very first merciful end in the Tartarus. It was very relieving that I got this. The Megaera fight was fine, but I was playing recklessly that I have to tell myself repeatedly, please do not throw this run. Please do not throw this run. And I barely defeated Megaera. However, I was able to heal from the well, so everything was fine. And then I fight the Hydra boss and move up to Elysium. In here, I was able to get Impending Doom, the epic one at that. So with Impending Doom, getting damage in was not a problem at all. From this point, I was really playing super safe that I don't throw the run. I was at full health, however, I only have 100 max health, so this is still a very risky run based on how recklessly I play. Despite playing super safe, I was still somehow managed to get hit until my health dropped to 19 points. From this point on, I was desperately hoping for a heal or a shop to buy a heal. The only thing on my mind was to play super safe and get heal. With 19 health, I clutched up 2 whole chamber without taking a single hit. And here finally I was relieved that the final chamber for the shop before the boss showed up. And oh my god, dude, there were no heals. No heals. I paused to compose myself. In here I was feeling really down and sad, thinking that there is no way I can beat this boss with 19 health left. However, knowing that this would be a loss, I just enter the room and do my best. I was so sad thinking that for the whole 35 hours of trying to speedrun this game, I never once, not even once, laid my eyes on Hades. I paused for a moment, trying to collect myself and do another run, but once I don't see Ares, I decided to just close the game. Look at the hour that I played this game. This is the point where I feel defeated.
That thing. That's the sun.
After a few days later, I can't just let this game defeated me. So I came back, opened Hades, and tried to speedrun it once again. However, this time I will use a different approach. Instead of beating it in the very first run, I will try to speedrun this game in the 4th run. Basically, I need to die 4 times without resetting, then the real run begin from there. Here is the simple example. In the very fresh file, go to the Athena chamber, go die. Well, yes, you are right, you need to die here. And then the second run, in the same chamber, do not die again however. The plan is to get 30 darkness to unlock Death Defiance and 1 key to unlock the bow. However, in this second run, I just go as far as I think I need to go. And after getting the key and some darkness, I would just die. And in the third run here, you will be guaranteed Zeus as your boons offering. And in this run, you must get 1 key and 30 darkness no matter what. And for here, after you get 1 key and 30 darkness, don't forget to unlock the healing chamber, which is literally free. This could be your run saver. Then go to the Mirror of Night, unlock Death Defiance, then unlock the bow. And this 4th run, you are guaranteed to have Daedalus Hammer. This is where the upgrades comes in. So the best one you can get based on my experience is the triple shot. If I don't get this, I usually just reset, but that's just my personal experience. And basically that's the only luck roll you need on this bow run. And you don't really rely on a duo boons like Merciful End. Now the next step is you want your normal attack to be either Aphrodite's attack, Artemis's, or Athena's. You want your normal attack to have as much damage as possible. Okay, so let's get into the run. In this run, I was really unlucky on getting my setup done because it took almost 8 minutes, which is really bad because normally I would be done in 4 or 5 minutes mark. And it takes this long because I was getting unlucky with the darkness chamber. Now after you get 1 key and 30 darkness, go die, unlock the healing chamber, Death Defiance, and the bow. And now we are ready to go. In this, I got over triple shot, which is really good because I can hit the same enemy 3 times the normal damage amount if I can get really close. I also get Aphrodite's attack from the shop, which has the highest attack modifier out of all boons there is in Hades. With this, I was able to reach 270 damage per hit, which is phenomenal. The Magera fight was almost perfect. With this setup, you need to get as close as possible to the boss and attack them from behind. And of course, you know, classic. And by using the 4th run instead of the 3rd run format is because in the 4th run format, you will always be over the 2nd hammer and you also unlock Hermes boon. Instead of the 3rd run where you get only over 1 hammer no matter what. Well, I think. And here comes the second boss, which is the Hydra, which is arguably the easiest boss fight out of all boss fight in Hades. And look at how much damage I can do. This setup is just really good. However, I almost died here, surviving with 11 HP, but everything was fine in the end. And here come Elysium. I was offered the 2nd hammer on the 1st chamber, which is really good. To say that I did well here, well, it's bullshit. Right from the 1st chamber, I was down to 16 health, which is really bad. And my 2nd hammer, I was offered explosive shot, so I take it. Despite having 16 health, I was able to recover little by little. until I reach the Bowl of Minos, which is a mini boss fight that you can encounter in Elysium. Here I was doing big boy damage, so the bowl never stood a chance. And I was down again to 13 HP. There were a lot of close calls, but in the end I was able to recover again and see another day to fight Theseus and the Minotaur. I was doing really well here. I dodged so many of their attacks and managed to get Theseus down to just half HP. Just look at this combo, man. This is just satisfying and so good to watch. And of course, I died, but I have Death Defiance, so everything was fine. But having no other lifesaver is a scary thing in these runs. Now, at the final realm or area, which is Temple of Stinks, I need to go through this maze looking room so I can find Cerberus food and feed it to the dog. I was lucky to find it in my second room, so that was great. I fed the bag to Cerberus, so he let me pass. And now here comes the final boss, Hades himself, which in this game is my father. I mean, I just love this combo, man. I was doing so much damage. This was so awesome. However, I still need to be careful because Hades deals so much damage here. One wrong move and you can lose your 40 health point in a single hit. And to be honest, I think the first phase of Hades is actually easier than the second phase. You will see what I mean. After I completely depleted his HP, now Hades enters a second phase where sometimes he does this laser attack, which you can easily evade by standing right behind him, and I was doing so much damage from behind. The second phase is basically a free hit phase if you play your card right and if you get lucky. And with that, there goes his half HP. Now he enters the second phase of his second phase and he immediately uses his laser attack, but this time it targets the entire area. However, you can still evade this by standing really close to him, and yeah, this is just basically a free hit as well. And with that, I know that the fight is over, so here we are finally defeating the boss. After more than 40 hours of speedrunning this game, the final time is 34 minutes and 7 seconds with in-game time of 18 minutes and 41 seconds. Not bad for a first timer, huh? And there goes Hades speedrun. This was truly a humbling experience since I haven't beaten this game in the very first attempt. So in the future I might or might not do it. I just don't want this to be a complete waste of time. Well, as if playing video game and speedrunning itself is not a waste of time.